Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Pineapple Knits. I'm Marina, and you can visit me on Instagram and Ravelry at Pineapple Yarn, and you can visit my hand-dyed yarn company at pineapplayarn.com. So I hope you've had a great week. It's been hot and humid here, which I don't normally mind, but it is really, really hot. It's been about 90, lower 90s here, lower to mid 90s. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's hot. It's really, really hot. So we've had heat indexes of into the 100s. It's just crazy to think that 5-6 months ago, it was extremely cold here. I'm in central Indiana in the US, so I guess it's, I've lived here about a year, and so I guess I've had the full 12-month seasons, so I'm getting used to the weather here, but it is just so extreme. I moved from Hawaii, and so there the temperature fluctuation was maybe 10 degrees through, like in the highs through the year. So it was so great. If you like warm weather, it was so great. But I guess you just get really used to very minute temperature fluctuations. But enough about the weather. It's hot. I can feel it even in my house right now. It's hot, but it's really beautiful. Everything's green and growing, so that makes me happy. I'm good with that. But yeah, so I'm actually drinking today. I don't always bring a drink, but, and I usually try to limit my coffee intake, but today in my favorite mug here, I am drinking black coffee because my baby boy, decided not to sleep last night. So, that's where we're at today. We are at no sleep today, so that's okay. We're just gonna deal with it, and I don't know how new moms get through it, but we do, and we just keep going. Women are resilient, I guess. I don't have any finished objects, unfortunately. I know that I had said last week that I want to get done with a pair of socks and my shawl, and I got done with neither, so it's okay. I actually got done with half of each, so at least I have something accomplished. I probably should have just focused on one, but I get bored or I can't concentrate on something. I'll show you in both of them kind of what my thought process was and why I got done with half of each. So the first thing I want to show you is I got done with one of my socks. All I needed to do with this one is put the heel in, and I did. I did an afterthought heel. I learned this technique from the now, I think, famous Kirby Werby tutorial on YouTube. She does an amazing job explaining it. It is such an easy heel. It's so wonderful. Basically, if you're not familiar with it, basically, actually, I'll show you with the other one. I'll just show you real quick. So I've marked, I knit a tube. It's just a tube, a toe up with a cuff on the top. These are for my daughter, and so I had her try them on, and I marked, this is how I do it. I don't really know if there's a better way to do it, but I mark where the center of her heel is. I just know like where to put these heels at this point. So I just mark the center of her heel, and I put a marker there. And basically what you do, I'll just run through it quickly. You pick up the right leg of this row above the marker, and then you take the other needle on your circular needles, and you pick up the right leg of the row below the marker. And when you have your needles in, it ends up, you have them kind of parallel like this. and then you'll have a row in between your needles. So what you do is you just clip the yarn. It's a little scary, but it works. It really does. You clip the middle of the row. You clip the strand of yarn, and I guess unfrog it, unravel it, or pick it out almost all the way to the end of the row here, but you leave probably about 2 stitches unraveled or still knit up. I'm not really sure how to say that. But what that does, and I'll show you, what that does is it makes a really, really nice, I guess, corner of the heel, and you don't have that gap where other afterthought heels kind of have, they can tend to have a little bit of a hole there, and so that eliminates it, those 2 stitches at either end of the row that you picked out. So then what you do is you have your circular needles in the stitches, and you just start knitting in the round like magic loop, and you decrease on each side. It's very similar to like if you are decreasing for a toe. If you're doing a cuff down sock, you do it the exact same way. So usually what I do is I knit a couple of rows in the round to begin with, and then I just do the decreases exactly like you would do a toe if you're doing a cuff down sock. So it makes a really nice heel. The only thing I would say, I guess I want to say first is this makes a really, really great contrasting heel. So if you have a self-striping sock, if you have a sock even just like this, just a really whatever, you know, it doesn't matter what yarn you use, but if you want to put a contrasting heel in, it makes just a really sharp, nice looking heel. So that's really a great technique to use. The thing that I wanted to say, the only drawback with this that I have found anyway, is that if you have a high arch, which I do, I have a high arch, so these don't fit me as well as a heel flap, you know, kind of like, I want to say a traditional sock heel. So I use these a lot for, if I want to do a contrasting heel, self-striping yarn, but if I want a really super comfortable sock for myself, I usually do a heel flap, and then how you would, I guess, traditionally do a heel. So anyway, this is my, the yarn is the Evil Queen by Voolenvine Yarns, and it's so pretty. It is purple. It has some really deep red and gray tones. It's sparkly. It's on a gold Selena base. So that's really, it's been a really fun knit. And what I was going to do with this is I had really thought about dyeing just a little bit of yarn this red color. This is a little bit blown out. It's not this bright in real life, but I wanted to do like a deep red color like that right there and then do a heel. I thought that would be so interesting, but I was doing some TV watching while I picked up the stitches for this heel. I was actually watching the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I don't know if you guys watch that, but that show is so interesting and it's hilarious. I mean, it's kind of corny jokes, but it kind of makes me laugh. So I was super into that first episode. I watch it on Netflix, so I guess it's I don't know if it's the whole season. There's usually a lot of episodes in a season, so if you haven't seen it, if you're looking for a good show, it's really great. Anyway, I got so into it, I just knit up that heel, and then I kind of forgot I was going to do a contrasting heel. So that's that, and I just have the next heel to do. So it doesn't take very long. I just need to do it. So my next project that I've been working on is the Wondrous Moth Shawl by Lindsay Degen, and I've been working on it for a while. I've been showing you guys every week my progress, and it's really coming along. I'm at the very last section. I wasn't really sure what color I was going to do. I know I was talking to you guys about this last week, but let me show you the side that I haven't done yet if you are new to my podcast. If you're new to my podcast, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope that that it brightens your day a little bit. But so this is the side that I haven't finished. This is a triangle shawl. Here's the end of it. It goes across and down and to the other side. And then the bottom has a color blocked section as well. This is a really bright shawl. I'm so excited to wear it. I'm super excited to wear it. But I wasn't sure what color I was going to do. So I had planned, I have a neon pink that, like a pale neon pink. I wonder if, yeah, I do have it. This will go in the bottom of the shawl. And so I kind of thought maybe I should do it with this. I thought about doing the neon yellow in the shawl. Maybe I should do this neon yellow. I didn't have enough of either. I think the pink was a mini. I think the pink was a mini. So I definitely didn't have enough of that. And this, I had maybe 26 grams left. So I wasn't sure if that would be enough either. So what I did is I had some really bright kind of minty green. And here is my progress from this week. You can see I haven't blocked it yet. So it's looks a little sad right now. But that is the next section on this shawl. It's the last section. And she does call these squiggles. I wasn't sure last week because my printer had cut it off, cut the word off. But she does call these squiggles. I've never done these before. I know that I looked up how to do this. I wasn't sure about the instructions in the pattern. And it's basically, I believe it's the same technique used in, I think it's the fox paws pattern, which was a very interesting pattern, and it was pretty popular maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But you guys, I'm not really sure if I did this right. It was really challenging. I'm trying to think how to put this. It was really challenging, not the pattern instructions themselves. It was just the actual mechanism of doing these increases, and I'll show you. This isn't perfect, and so I'm just going to show you. I almost ripped it out. I didn't because I want to be done with this. I want to wear it. But you basically are doing a massive number of increases right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. So you're doing a ton of increases. I kept them loose because I didn't really know. I started out using my regular gauge, I guess, but then I made them looser just because I couldn't get them, I couldn't move my needles because there's so many increases on my needle. I'm not exactly sure if I did these right, but I figure I have another side to practice on, and I tend to be a perfectionist in things, but I'm learning to let go, especially with the number of children I have and the responsibilities I have. I just don't have time to make everything perfect. And I figure every knitting project, every craft project really is practice. And so I hope that with every project I get better. I have better technique. I have make better choices with yarn and whatnot. So these are loose. I'll see with the other side how that works out. But I'm really happy with the color though. I think it's going to be so pretty. Especially, I'm just going to do this really quick so you can see. This will go on the bottom here, and then you'll have the green. I know this is huge. This is really a really big shawl, but yeah, so I'm happy with it, and I just have the next side to do, so that's kind of exciting. The next thing I wanted to show you is that I will be starting a test knit here. Well, I should be starting right now. I started on it last night and completely ripped it out because I think I was too tired to concentrate on what I was doing. What are you gonna do, right? I I don't know if you guys have done test knits, but usually when I knit, I fudge things. So if I have like a miscount at the end of a row of like a shawl or something, I'm not going to rip back. I'm just not. I'm going to fudge it. And I'm going to do, if I have too many stitches, I'm going to do like a little decrease in there. That's just the way it is. I guess that's why I don't do lace patterns now, really, because I can't imagine having to rip back. But anyway, so doing a test knit, it's going to be a slow-ish process. It can't be too slow because I've got a deadline. But I have to go through the pattern and just make sure there's no errors and no fudging. My whole point of this is I can't fudge, right? I've got to make sure that this is accurate. But I can't show you the design or anything, but I will show you the yarn that I'm using, and I'm really happy about these colors. These are my yarn, my hand-dyed yarn, and this one I called Makai. This one is Heliotrope, and I'm going to do this as the main color, this as the contrast. And my daughter actually picked this out. She said that she wanted, it's going to be her size, this test knit is, so she told me she wanted light blue and purple. So she actually had a picture of these two colors, and so I happily obliged. But Makai is I guess the word for toward the sea or toward the ocean in Hawaii. And so a lot of times if people are giving you directions, they might say on the Makai side, and it means the ocean side. So this is basically ocean, right? Kind of looks like it. This is a really pretty blue. I like the tone. This is very, very tonal. It's reading a little darker, but I think this is super, super pretty. It's going to be really pretty paired with this. This is very tonal as well. I will have some of these in my shop. Not on this base though. Let me tell you about this base. This is actually a sport weight non-superwash merino, and I've wanted to do a non-superwash for a while. I won't be putting this in stock. This will be a custom order, special order. If you guys have a project that you'd like to use a sport weight yarn, like a sweater, or maybe a thicker pair of socks, or a shawl, this is a really great base. It is toothy. You know, I can feel that, I guess, toothiness, the grip that a non-superwash wool provides. But it's really soft because it's merino. So this is, I would wear this next to skin. This feels very soft to me. I mean, it's not cashmere, right? But it's really nice. This would also make a really nice pair of mittens, I think. Like color work mittens, that'd be really pretty. But anyway, so this is a new base I'll be carrying, and I'll be working on this test knit. I don't think I'll be able to show you it until probably September. It'll be fall before I'll be able to show you this, but I'll be working on it. So that is all I've currently been knitting on. This next week I will be working on my test knit, and I'll also be starting the Beekeeper cardigan. So, well, is that this next week? It begins July. So if you're not familiar with it, it's the Beekeeper cardigan 4-day knit along. And the whole purpose of the knit along is to see if you can knit a sweater in 4 days. It evidently can be done. I think I'm being a little overambitious, thinking I can do it in 4 days, but it's a beautiful pattern. It was designed by Marie of Olive Knits, and it's a beautiful textured pattern using a DK weight yarn. So I'll be starting that, and I would love if you would join me and maybe tag me in an Instagram post so I can see what you're doing, or leave a comment below. Tell me if you are going to join in on the knit along. It's not a knit along hosted by me. It's hosted by Marie Evolve Knits, but yeah, I think it'll just be a very interesting, an interesting project. So yeah, so hopefully I can get my shawl done. I can get that other sock done, so I can focus on these 2 larger projects. And then, knowing me, I know that I'm gonna need, I guess, kind of a palette cleanser. I'm gonna need something fast after these kind of larger projects. So I'll probably be knitting a lot of socks or smaller projects after those. So I'm excited, though, to do some larger projects and kind of challenge myself with some deadlines. So I want to show you something that I guess it's an acquisition. I just purchased it. I just got it in the mail a little bit ago. It's kind of a funny backstory. I was perusing through Insta stories, which I love. I love all of you who are doing Insta stories. They are so great to scroll through and connect with you with those. So bravo on doing those, because I don't do them. I probably should start, but I don't. But anyway, I don't remember who it was, whose Insta story it was, but it was, and of course I had the sound off too, so I couldn't hear what was going on, where this person was. But they were showing some vintage things and whatnot. And all of a sudden they showed this embroidery, and it was so funny because it just sparked this memory in my mind, which I haven't thought about for years. But my grandmother used to have this exact embroidery framed, and I think on a shelf in her house. I was a little kid. This was years and years ago, and I remember it just, all these memories started flooding in, and I started thinking about looking at this embroidery, reading it. I could read when I was pretty young, so I would read it, and just, I didn't really understand what it meant, but it was really, I thought it was really pretty, and something about it just kind of like drew me in. I loved this embroidery. So when I saw the same one, I was really like kind of shocked. I mean, it was so neat. So I did a quick Google search, actually. I was able to find that it was an embroidery sample made by Jiffy Stitchery, I think, back in the 70s. And you guys, I was so excited because I found a kit of the same embroidery. I was so excited, but this is what it says. I love this. Please grant me patience now. And this is the part that I didn't understand. Like, I thought it was so pretty, but I didn't understand why there was a cannonballs, and then all these like curly cues and flowers coming out. You guys, isn't this so awesome? I mean, I think this is so great. I mean, I am like beyond words that I found this. It was, I think this is so funny, $4. Can you imagine? It was $4 back in, let's see, I know it says right here, yes, right here, 1976. It's hilarious. This is brand new. It has a pre-printed canvas, I guess. I don't know, I haven't taken it out yet. It has wool yarn, so I figured it would stay, I mean, I guess stay fresh. I don't know what the word I'm trying to find. But you know, sometimes, I don't know if you guys have done this before. I've seen like old kits and stuff that has acrylic yarn from the 70s. It's so gross. It's super plasticky, and it's almost like it breaks down, even though plastic doesn't biodegrade very quickly. I don't know. But I am so excited to sew this, embroider this. I can't even believe I found it. It's just still kind of cracking me up. I love it. So yeah, thank you to, you know what? It might have been, was it Ashley with Nomadic Yarns? It might have been her Insta story, but I don't remember now. It was late at night and I was doing it, but very, very excited about this. I'll show you my progress once I start it. I'm not a embroiderer, sewist. I don't really know what you would say. I haven't done a lot of projects like this. I used to when my girls were younger, and I guess I had more free time. I used to actually smock their clothing. I used to make dresses. I had a pleater. I would make beautiful smocked dresses for them. And that does require some kind of embroidery, I guess. This is kind of neat though, because it's all pre-printed and it seems like it would be kind of fun and a different kind of project. So I don't know when I'm going to start it. We'll just see. But very, very excited about this. So I'll be having a shop update this Friday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm so excited to have this update. I have some tonals I have dyed up. I have minis that I'm adding. What I'm most excited about, though, is a 4th of July kit, an Independence Day kit that I have sewn up and dyed up, and it is so, so pretty. So this is my 4th of July kit. This is the project bag, and this is the coordinating yarn. And I got new labels, you guys. Aren't those great? Very excited about that. Let me go ahead and show you this project bag. This kit is actually going to be called Small Town Parade. I actually posted on Instagram some of my inspiration. If you guys have been in the US, live in the US, and you have been to a small town or you're from a small town during Independence Day, these towns go all out. They have parades, they have fireworks, it's just a huge celebration, and no one does it like small towns. I mean, really and truly, they just blow it out of the water. So this is an ode to those small towns, and I love going to parades. I love parades. So every year on 4th of July, we try and find a parade. If we are not in a small town, we go to one. So this is the project bag that I made for the kit. I think this is so pretty. I think it looks like tablecloths and apple pie, and I just think it's very reminiscent of traditional American summertime. And I made it in this so you can use it year-round. So it's not like an overtly patriotic 4th of July print, but I did put the lining as this. So you kind of have a fun lining. And how I use these bags all the time, and what I do is I actually flip them down and put my yarn right in so the yarn doesn't hook on the zipper. This is interfaced so it actually sits up and is such a great little container for a skein or two. So that's how I use my project bags like this. But yeah, I love this. I think it's so pretty. It will have the pineapple charm on the zipper, and the kit will also come with a coordinating yarn that I dyed. This is going to be called Small Town Parade. Just going to go ahead and show you. I really wanted to do a yarn that was self-striping, but I wanted to do a micro stripe. So how that is, and how yarn dyers usually do it, is you can do like a half and half skein. So half the skein is one color and half the skein is a different color. And this one is a really pretty cherry red to coordinate with the project bag. And then the other side, what I did is this really neat blue. It's predominantly blue, but it has other colors in it. Some really fun, like yellow, pink, and other colors. So I wanted it to look like fireworks, and I didn't want to do like half red, half blue because that's kind of purpley. Wasn't what I was going for. So I think this would be so, so fun knit up. I think it would make a great 4th of July pair of socks. But I think that it is not overtly like red, white, and blue. I think it would just make a really, really pretty year-round pair of socks. So that's the reason behind this skein of yarn is for sock making or sock knitting. So that's the socks. And then what you'll also receive in the kit is this really cute charm. Let's see if we can get it. It's a little American flag shaped like a star, and it's a gold clip. So you can actually use this charm. You can hook it to a zipper. You can use it as a progress keeper, but it's just such a cute little charm. I'm trying to show it here. There. So you'll receive the yarn, the project bag, and this charm in the kit. It'll all be packaged together. It's such a cute ode to summertime and the 4th of July and hot summers. And so yeah, I'm really proud of it, and I hope you like it too. I'm going to show you, last week I showed you some yarn that I'll have with this week's update, but I want to go ahead and show you some of the combinations that I found when I was labeling these yarns. The first one I found that I really, really loved is this yarn here. This is one of my end of the day colorways. So end of the day, end of a dyeing day or a dyeing week, I guess, I save all of my extra dye and then I put it together for some one-of-a-kind skeins. I love this color. I want to keep it. I want to keep a lot of my yarn. But this is so, so pretty. It has some really pretty like warm golds, bright greens. I've got a little purple in it, but it looks so pretty paired up with another purple. This is Amethyst. It's a really pretty tonal purple, and then paired with either like Aqua, or this is Dusty Sage. These are so pretty together. Or even something like, this is Honeycomb. I think these would be so pretty together. So this is a really nice, you know, a lot of times I call my yarns bridges because they kind of bridge from color to color, and I think this is one of the yarns that I would call a bridge. It's just a link. It links colors together. Be so pretty in a fade, or maybe a 3-color project. So this is end of the day number 7. I have another color I want to show you really quickly. So this is my other end of the day colorway that I have this week. This is end of the day number 7. Love this color. It's really, really pretty. I'm kind of getting blown out here, but it's kind of like some pale neons, pink, yellow, green, so pretty. But I thought it would be so pretty paired with Bubblegum, which is a pale neon pink that is definitely one of my favorites right now. And it would be so pretty with Saturn, which is the bright yellow in my shawl. Those are so pretty together. I think it'd be really pretty with this Aqua. Then I also have a color in my shop in stock right now. This is Bright Mint, and I think that these 3 together would be so, so pretty. So this is another skein that's just a great bridge or link between colors because it has so many different colors in it. So this is called End of the Day number 6. So that's basically what I have for this week. Again, my shop update is Friday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at pineappleyarn.com. I will have the Small Town Parade kits. I will have some tonals, some really pretty speckled yarn, and some minis. So I would love if you could join me then, and yeah, hopefully I will see you guys again next week too. But until then, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye, guys.